Got some lessons I want to go over today. Talk about some things I learned in the high school weight room this past week, and pass along some lessons to you guys while we do this. So the first one is energy is contagious. This has to do with picking good training partners. Inside the high school weight room, we group guys up by uh, ability levels, how easily they mesh. Luckily, we've got a pretty good tight group with our student athletes, so it's easy for us to kind of fall into a groove real quick. But for yourself, if you don't have somebody that's going to push you, don't have someone that's going to be there to support your goal, especially if you don't have the support at home, you need somebody outside of you that's going to push the buttons and pull the levers for you to make sure that you're going in and doing what you need to do, which is improve yourself. And if you don't have that, you can always reach out, and I'm always happy to talk to you about some things that you can do that's internally. Because I mean, myself, I've trained by myself, for the last 12 years, and I've gotten pretty good at knowing what buttons to push on myself. So I can push that onto you, give you some enlightenment. Second one is, this is a big one for me, is this cutting caffeine at noon. I've just noticed there's such a huge difference in my energy levels towards the end of the day. My sleep quality's gotten better. I picked up one of those Whoop bands, and it tells me my recovery and whatnot. It's amazing to me that I haven't had a drink of alcohol in probably 3 months. I had 2 beers on Saturday, and my recovery was absolutely tanked. It's the first time I've been in red. So caffeine obviously is going to make a hit, but alcohol is an even bigger one, especially if you don't drink very often. Next one is just watch your favorite show during cardio. Do whatever you got to do to get yourself through a steady state cardio session. I do 45 to 50 minutes on the elliptical every morning right now because it's cold as shit in Kentucky. So this has helped me get through, and I noticed that once I'm done, my energy levels are so much better throughout the day. Like there's a sense of accomplishment, and then later on I'll go back and I'll hit a quick 15 to 25 minute lift off of like a bro split, just to feel better and improve strength levels. But this has made one of the biggest differences with me so far, is just coming in, doing my cardio, and having something to watch. And my favorite show right now on Landman, but I also bounce between that and the Mayor of Kingstown, which is a badass show. Next was kind of like geared towards like the younger people, because you realize later on in life that you miss some things, and the things that you've missed are the things that you didn't do because you wish time would pass faster. Like I wish that I had taken the opportunity to actually go in and train with my boxers and my Greco guys back when I was doing strength conditioning with those guys. I had world-class coaches and world-class athletes that wanted to teach me, and I just didn't do it. I always put it off. I was like, oh, we'll get to it next week. We'll get to it next week. If you get these opportunities in your life, it doesn't matter if it's working with a great athlete, a great coach, or just going and working on something with your dad, your mom, cooking. Take these opportunities while you have them, because someday they aren't going to be there. In terms of training, damn, I wish I had the joint, the knees and the elbows and the shoulders of these high school kids right now, because with my knowledge, I think I'm living through them right now by making the changes for them. But man, it would be a totally different story if I was young again and had this kind of knowledge, because I wouldn't allow the dumb mistakes I made as a kid to happen. So I'm glad these high school kids had me. The last one is my son was at a wrestling tournament last weekend, and God laughs at us when we have these grand plans, but He also shows us some grace. And that means that, I was kind of getting ahead of myself. He's 11. He's pretty decent for a wrestler. He's just in there with guys that are 2 years older than him that have been wrestling for 4, 5, 6 years. And he's just a bigger kid. He's in the 160 weight class. And 160-pound eighth graders totally different than 160-pound sixth graders. So he's getting thrown around a lot. So my plan was to take him over to, because we live near Louisville, I was going to take him to the Bellarmine campus and let him get a part of that wrestling. Mainly they've got a Cuban coach there that is a Greco guy. And I would love for him to be involved in Greco, especially young, because it's only going to benefit him. So anyway, I'm taking my oldest son out to a gymnastics meet, and I get a phone call from coach, and he's freaking out because my son, he thought he had dislocated his ankle, but turned out he had broken the distal into his tibia. And my wife and him spent until about 11 p.m. in the hospital. I got back at 1:30 a.m. with my other son, and just this past Thursday we realized that from going to the orthopedic and seeing him, that God gave us a little bit of mercy and gave us some grace, and Wyatt doesn't need surgery, which is great, because on Saturday night the orthopedic that was there at the hospital was not so sure. So be thankful for the things that God provides you, whether it's a hard lesson or an easy lesson, because no matter what, you should never probably take yourself so serious, and never try to get ahead of yourself when things aren't ready for it to happen. And for Wyatt in his wrestling career, wasn't ready for it to happen right now, but that's fine. He'll be back next year, and heck, he might go to Bellarmine anyway once a week. But just be thankful for what you got in the moment, which goes back to this one again. Don't forget to enjoy things. Appreciate y'all listening.